everyone, this is Kelly from Cozy Reader Kelly. Today I'm doing the TBR tag. I think the original came from a blog post, so I'll link that down below. And there are several questions, so let's just get onto it. So number one is, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? Well, I have two. I have my physical TBR, which is most of my shelf. I only have one shelf that is actually books I've read. The rest are all books I want to read, so there's a lot of them. And then I have one on my Goodreads as well. But what I have on my Goodreads are not ones that are on the shelf, so they're either one or the other. So once I've bought it, I take it off of my Goodreads. The next one is your TBR mostly print or ebooks? Mostly print. I used my Kindle for a couple years, and then I had missed reading physical books, so I went back to doing regular books. And I still read ebooks here and there, but not as often as I keep track of like print books. Number three is, how do you determine which book from your TBR to read next? I am a big time mood reader, so I kind of, when I'm finished a book, I basically stand in front of my shelf and just think, what do I want to read today? And I kind of decide what genre, and then based off of that I look at which ones in there. Sometimes I reread the synopsis or whatever, and I just figure out what I'm in the mood for right at that moment. Number four, a book that's been on your TBR the longest. So I looked at my shelf, and this is kind of embarrassing, but this book, Primal Fear by William Deal, I've probably owned this book since 1998, because the movie came out in 96, and I was a huge fan of the movie. And so when I was at a thrift store at some point, I picked this book up. So what is that, 20 years that I've had this book, and I've never even tried to read it. So probably it's not going to happen, but I keep keeping it, thinking I'll get around to it someday. Number five, a book you recently added to your TBR. So the most recent book that I bought, so that the recent one to my physical TBR, is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I had been trying to get this from the library because it's kind of impossible to buy it used right now. I can't find it anywhere, and my library had like 200 people waiting for it, so I went ahead and bought it so that I could have it on my TBR now. Number six is a book in your TBR strictly because of its beautiful cover. And I've gotten rid of a lot of my books that I'm not actually interested in, but there's this one book. I have this book about Audrey Hepburn, and Audrey Hepburn is my favorite actress of all time, and I've probably owned this for a long time, at least 10 years, and never have read it. And I probably won't read it. It's so pretty because it's Audrey Hepburn and she's beautiful. So I'm just going to keep it because it's pretty. Number seven is a book on your TBR you're never planning on reading. And that is Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. And look at this thing. It's huge. It's a huge book. And the reason I own this book is that my mom gave me this, and she also gave me The Fountainhead. It's her favorite book of all time. And so I keep it because my mom gave it to me and she loves it. So I feel like, oh yeah, I'll get around to reading it. But am I really ever going to get around to reading that when I really don't have any interest and it's humongous? So probably not going to happen. Number eight, an unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. I am not somebody that really keeps track of books that are coming out soon. So usually this would be a book that I'm in the middle of a series and I'm waiting for like the next book in the series to come out. But I don't have any series that I'm in the middle of that are unpublished yet. All of them are already like out if I'm in the middle of a series. So I don't really have anything I'm expecting at this point. Number nine, a book on your TBR that's basically everyone's read but you. And that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I hear this all over the place because it kind of spans several genres for people, and everybody seems to really like it, and I did buy it, so I'm getting one step closer to having it read, I guess. Where are we at? Number 10 is a book on your TBR that everyone recommends to you, and that is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. You know, I've seen this all over BookTube, so everybody's recommending it. And then this is actually from my mom. My mom was visiting a couple weeks ago, and she read it, and she's like, oh, I think you would like this book. So not only am I getting it from BookTube, I'm getting it from my mother too. So I guess I need to get around to that soon, huh? Did you like this? Do you like this book? Yeah, baby Eliza likes it. Number 11, a book on your TBR that you're dying to read. So I'm dying to read this book so much, I got it from the library. Far from the Tree by Robin Benway. I've been hearing a lot about this, and the story really interests me because it's about, I think, three children that were, that are biologically related, but they grew up in different households. 2 were adopted, and 1 was in the foster care system. And that they are now, as older, and she just she just knocked down something off of my bookshelf. Yay! So anyways, they get together in their more adulthood and are looking into their biological family. And the reason I'm really interested in that is that I have kind of the same situation possibly could happen with Eliza here. She has 2 biological siblings out there that are not in our family, and so someday when she grows up, she might be in the same situation where she is meeting her biological siblings and looking into her biological family. So I don't know, I'm just really interested in that because it feels like this is something that could really happen to my family someday. And then number 12, the last one, is how many books are on your Goodreads book TBR shelf? And I looked on my Goodreads and I have 108 on my TBR shelf, and that's not including all of these physical books, so who knows? I didn't count these, so altogether I'm sure it's like 300 books or something like that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna live forever because I have a lot of books to read. So that's it for me. Say goodbye, Eliza. Bye. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.